It is time. I had to make the return back to the live. Stevie B, Boston. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's been a hard search for me to find where to put my niche in coming back from the football season. That's my A1. That's my sauce. I already know what to do with the game. I know the game and I can roll because I follow the game. However, I know my teams in Boston back to back, front and back. Um, what we're able to do is sometimes, socially speaking, in order to follow everything. However, the Celtics. I put my last few specific posts out regarding their ability, their thing as a team, what I believe they are as an ebb and flow. And what has happened is they lost the first two games in the first series. And the Bulls came out with Rondo. Rondo got injured. They won game three, which wasn't surprising, but I believe in winning game three and game four. And basically, the Celtics understood and learned a few things from the not just the fact that certain guys started making shots, which didn't happen in game one and two against the Bulls. It became more of something where the Bulls were one dimensional in certain senses enough for the Celtics to find themselves, readjust, and understand exactly what needs to happen. They have a lot of players that contribute in different ways, and their starting lineup isn't necessarily their best lineup at different points against different players. When they decided to finally put in Gerald Green, it was based on the situation. What was necessary? What did I say Gerald Green was? Go back and look at my video. What did I say? I said he was the spark plug. This man comes in and can athletic monster, hustle. Okay, a menace is what I said. And what did he do? It didn't happen in game one against the Wizards because it's a totally different thing. And now, but I love what they did quickly and readjusted. Honestly, they wouldn't have survived that or survived that adjustment period the way they weren't able to figure out their adjustments in the beginning of the Bulls series. Just now against the Wizards, there was an adjustment necessary there. I've always believed in the lineup with Al Horford and Kelly Olynyk because they they complement each other. Al Horford needs the paint and then moves to the outside. We need a guy who does not need the paint. See, there's nothing about Amir Johnson against a lot of these teams out here, aside from we get up against Cleveland, and then even then, I'd still take Horford and Olynyk because of the way Olynyk um, closes out on defense. It's not that he's the best, but he's not a small dude. And he closes out quicker on 3-point game, which Love has. And then you got the tough game between Thompson and Horford in between. I really think, and I said this when the Celtics signed Amir Johnson, I didn't get it. He wasn't a progressive center in terms of the NBA ability. And hasn't progressed in his jumper or anything since he's gotten here, which has been a problem. Not knocking your boy. We defensively, when it's big boy time, if they got big guys in there, the way Washington can't see uh Jesus, what is that gentleman's name? Moncrief? Oh jeez, what the hell is his name? Whatever. But dude got injured in Washington the other day and yesterday, excuse me, and it's going to not necessarily impact the series, but it's going to see, it's going to tell who their keys are. You know, it's the same thing that happened with the Bulls almost. Not necessarily by injury or by virtue, but once we were in the game and everything was calmed down and momentum and all that figuring out shit had to be figured out had come into play after realizing, okay, we can't start Gerald Green against, we gotta, switch everything. Kelly and Horford and things like that, Smart and Bradley, things like that. They're going what they have. That Brad Stevens is making adjustments on the fly. I appreciated how that happened. That's what I like to see. However, what is more important, I'll say what's more important is the way the Wizards are playing and how it compares to the way the Bulls were playing. The only difference is Wall is, younger than Dwayne Wade was. A younger Dwayne Wade could have done a lot more, but you had Dwayne Wade and Butler, and really you had, guard defenders that could shut down Wade, and Butler beat us. Play team defense, and Butler, okay, beat us. He's just going to do stuff and get it done. Bradley Beal's a monster. And apparently, the playoffs don't scare him. I was wrong about that. But it's not that I thought it would scare him. I'm just saying, the team together, I didn't know where, Bradley Beal was on the tier of playoff proven and legit going to get it done. But at the same time, you got to make sure and continue to watch Bradley Beal's other stats during this series. Other than rebounding and scoring, I need to see him more than 5 along with his points in order for that to matter. I need to see an assist or 2. I need to see exactly. I don't know what Bradley Beal's contribution is other than his scoring, and that's dope because I didn't realize he was that ill of a scorer. However, John Wall cannot win this series alone. John Wall and Bradley Beal cannot win this series alone. And I think that's something the Celtics are understanding as a team unit with different guys rotating in and out there. Rozier is a monster. He is ready in terms of a competitive fire, a competitive nature, his shot making ability. The Celtics, there's a reason they lead the playoffs in assists right now. Okay, they are the most complete team and the deepest complete team. I don't understand why people are saying Toronto is. There's flaws and holes on throughout that lineup, and we'll talk about that later because it's on now. It's on. And to talk about whether Isaiah Thomas could lead a team, please, whoever had a doubt about that got shut up already in the first couple games. The team felt lost more than that man was. That man was locked in on the court, but I feel like something happened. And it's exactly what I felt like needed to happen. I feel like I said something about it through one of my little podcast. I'm telling you, it took Isaiah stepping up to the team and saying, I'm good with this. Hey, everyone, stop now look at me and do it for her. And don't feel for me. That has a big part to play in this. Can this carry it? Can he carry a team? It's already been proven and then can he carry a team with this? Seeing what type of individual he actually is? I think there's no questions asked after that point proven. The team hasn't just they didn't just start to win after Rondo got in. They figured out exactly what they needed to be mentally. And that was the key. They needed to refine themselves as a team because they were lost mentally as a team because of what your leader, the impact of your leader's strife. And I don't think anyone's really saying that. The impact of your leader's strife left his team a little disheartened for a couple of games. But I believe something happened after game 2 or during and after game 3 with the idea that Rondo was out, obviously, and that, look, we can't lose this regardless. And then after that game, it was solidified. What they, where their mentalities were at again. They were at, where their mentalities had to be about that situation and how they had to apply it the way this man has. And I see nothing but every individual being themselves on the court. And that's what I love about the Celtics. That's what I love about my team. That's why I think they can do anything. There's no gaming about this. Can Yetman carry the team to a championship? It's quite possible. Defensively, they all figure it out. But let's go one game at a time and go game 2. And I'm telling you, game 2 isn't going to be a 3-fest, obviously, like the other game. But people got to say it's not just a 3-fest. All of these guys can do this. And now the Wizards have to adjust. We already have the adjustments for that. This team is deep, man. I love what I'm seeing. Do not doubt Isaiah Thomas's leadership in any sense. That man can carry this team. He can. And he's willing to just listen to him in the interviews. Team. He wants to carry his own weight right now for his sister, but for his team. He's on the court just doing it for her. And he said that himself. That's what's real. Dog. If that can't carry, what else has carried them to the last, 5 straight? Stevie B out next game. Watch what happens. Team ball.